There we go. Just getting everything loaded here. Cool. Play. Load. Back to Roots. So Roots is Island Warfare, which is what this is. So, oh, first off, hi. Oh, let me shoot out one alert here real quick. There we go. That way, if anybody's around that wants to hang out, they're welcome to hang out, right? But anyway, so here's where I'm at right now. This is my world that I've been playing at work. So with my job, specifically the shifts that I work, I have a certain amount of downtime, just because it's like a lot of the work and a lot of the things that need to get done earlier in the day. So by the time you get to my shift, most of everything is done, which gives me a certain amount of free time per se. And so what's happening is, I'm gonna put my mic back up here. There we go. So basically what it means is I have a little bit of free time when during certain shifts, and then a couple of my shifts are graveyards, which are all free time, right? And so what I've been doing is, this is the Factorio world I've been playing while I'm at work. And it's interesting, this world, because it had a couple weird things about it. My closest oil was right here. So I got just enough oil done, and I built a back path up to it to get the resources I need to run my base, right? Or to start my oil. And then I was using Bio Industries for oil right up here. Except for I just finished getting enough research done that I could get up to coal liquefaction. And so now if we go here, this building is doing coal liquefaction, right? So we got heavy and steam going in, and we're making heavy. And then we have light and petrol. And my system is designed to auto try to balance it to where I'm producing a fairly equal amount of all. The only thing that would make it any different is if I went here and went, let's see here, what's a full 24? So if I came here and said 23K, then it would balance it so that I was producing exactly the same amount of all three, basically, because it'd be 23, 24, and 24, because the base, or this design is set up to automatically do it for me. So like if we look here, I have a double pump restriction for fracking, it is fracking, isn't it? What is it called? Cracking, not fracking, pardon me. To crack from light to petrol, both conditions have to be met. So I have to have a minimum of X amount of light as well as a minimum of X amount of... Oh. I have one design flaw in this. Do I want to correct that? I just realized there's one design flaw. I did one thing wrong. And that is the oil should not be getting pumped to there from here. So the way I have this set up is this building is producing petrol, light oil, sulfuric acid, as well as lubrication. And as a side bonus, it's also creating asphalt. This building is. What I need to do is have this here be connected to this here, not this. Because these conditions, this condition here is based around this having enough fuel. So technically this one, this condition here is based on this here. So if this is on the back end, this will basically always run, because this side will always have a crap ton of fuel in it, light oil in it, but this one won't be getting the priority. So here's what we're going to do. This should be plenty for sulfuric acid, at least for now. So I should be able to do... It won't let me go over. And there's not enough space in between those the way I did these. Okay, so we need to find a way to move the oil. Now, the nice thing about oil is that as long as you set it with pipe to grounds, you can put it right next to other fuels, and you don't have to worry about them over spilling. There we go. So the idea is the heavy or the light oil should not be going to be turned into petrol unless we have enough light oil here. That's part of the condition. Oh, and I need to adjust this because I need a pump here. Like that. I want this one to stay full basically at all times. So if this one stays full at all times and then is pulling off of there, that should do better. But now if you look, all three of these will match each other and max out. And technically I was running one of these on the side, a chemical replicator, which I don't think I need anymore. I was running it because I was trying to prioritize getting some asphalt going when I didn't have the throughputs here. Like, I wasn't using any of the oil yet. I hadn't set this up yet. Which, by the way, this is actually a fairly decent design. It's not quite as fast when it comes to, like, for example, this guy here is not super fast. Like, this guy's crafting as fast as he can, and he's just slow. Like, it's going to take him, you know, it's going to take him a while to produce here. But that's okay. Like, it's not the fastest, but it'll produce everything in a very small amount of space. And then I've got it set up here. My thought was I want to set up some kind of a blue science blue circuits here, and then have an output of them over here, and have like a blue output here. So currently the way I have this designed is we have stone at the bottom, oil, which is coal liquefaction is the route I always take. As soon as I get to coal liquefaction, I stop harvesting oil from sources, and I coal liquefy 100% if I can. Sometimes I have to do it more or less, just based on other circumstances, but that's something else. But anyway, so that looks good there. This is producing all of the blue belt pieces for me, and I don't believe my mod pack has any higher tier than blue. No. I want belts, which is, was it logistics? Logistics. No, logistics is with a J, not a G. No, it's not. What the heck? Logistics. Yeah, we're done on logistics. So basically, we're getting to the point where the only technology left are the really high-end ones for producing rockets, and then being able to use dark matter to create other stuff. Oh, when I created this world, I threw a couple stipulations on it. For example, there is no... this world in particular has oil. I don't believe there's any uranium on the map at all. I have to use quarries or dark matter to create it. Like, that's it. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. Oh, also, check this out. This is pretty sick. Oh, hang on. One of my turrets is being fed the wrong ammo. I tore up a turret and then put it back down, and the arm is trying to feed it the wrong thing. There we go. So my front line is machine gun turrets here. So I have heavy MG turrets along with a handful of lasers, and then behind them I have rocket turrets, but they're frontline rocket turrets, which means I could potentially have better rockets going here. I just haven't set them up yet. And here, let's I want to adjust this as well. Let's tear that up. That. I want to tighten my wall as tight to my turrets as possible. So it's pretty sick. The rockets have a range, a minimum range of 60, a maximum range of 80. So if you look, there is literally, and they have to be aimed. You aim them a certain direction. They're not a full turret that will flip and aim behind them, but their range is really far. So instead of the battle always taking place right at the edge of my heavy turrets, now more of the combat happens further away because I'm firing rockets at the enemies, which is super cool. Now, the prototype artillery is super annoying because it's a good artillery, but it has crap range. Like my rockets have as good of a range as the artillery does, which really messes with me, like trying to do stuff there. Oh, where's it at? Is it this one? Yeah, for some reason the preview doesn't show the full building. It's kind of weird. But anyway, this is going nuts. Yeah. I need to fully automate and fully develop this. But I need to know iron and steel. And then what's my next scoop? The next tier up just takes the lower tier. So I only need iron and I only need steel. I can change this building in here to have a full setup of replication labs. Five, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And I can't set that up that way. To build this is going to be really, really simple. The hard part is these guys. I have too many of these. I need to tear this up, set up development, and then see what it takes. So here, we'll set this up this way. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And typically I use all of my hyper modules on my science to get the maximum amount out of it. I'm getting to the point now where I have so many hyper modules because this is a fairly old world where I had slow starts just because I had very limited resources when I was playing. Okay, so here's the question on this. This mod is kind of interesting because as you progress through your sciences, you stop using the previous sciences, which honestly, I really adore the mod for that. Like, once you get so far, you stop using certain parts of the mod, or certain parts of the technology. I'll see if I can do 2 more stacks, and then we'll set up an auto producer. Here. Whoop. Okay, like that. I'm low on blue. I have some in there for some reason. Okay. What I'm thinking here is I want to set this up interstellar science. So as far as the replicators go, there's actually very few things that I want to replicate. Primarily, and I might change this in the late game, like, or not on this world, but in another world, my next world after this one, I might set it where the super hyper late game stuff won't be able to be created. Like, for example, atomic bombs, I will have to build myself. I won't be able to use this for it. I need to limit dark matter replicators for that exact purpose. I love dark matter replicators, though, in general, because it allows you to bypass most oil-based mods that force oil late game, or greatly reduce when you can and can't use them or build them, which is something that I run into a fair amount. Okay, I'll let that go, let that. I'm doing this because I want as much of that space to myself as I can. Okay. So with that set up there, I should be able to now start doing this part. The one basic piece is literally just iron. Trying to make this as clean as possible. Also, you need to filter just that, because there is a handful of stone in here, and I don't want the stone being used. Alright. So if we go like that, I don't know my ratios here yet, and I need to eventually automate the production of these. I need craft machines and little craft machines to be automated. They're relatively low technology to do, but they're annoying enough that I'm just like, I don't want to argue with them. Super annoying. Okay, here's the issue. It's a half a second, but it's 4 per. hate this science to a certain extent. Yeah, there are certain things I absolutely hate about this mod. And it's primarily most of the day my brain is too tired to figure out how to set this up efficiently. I don't have arms automated right now, but oh well. Oh yeah, that's right. There was some stuff I was going to do today. Some of which may or may not actually get done, though. But that's okay. It's not, like, detrimental or, like, super, like, it has to get done. It would be good to get it done, but if it doesn't, I'll live, you know? One of the nice things about having the buildings is I can have a spaghetti setup like this, and it doesn't matter. That might have been a mistake. That can't keep up. This will go nuts for a minute. The nice thing, though, is from what I understand, there is a limit. Like, I might even be able to... I might be able to shut this down for a bit. Because that's a lot. And the amount of technologies that need this isn't super a lot. Like... the way I should have done it... I still have enough space to do it. I'm gonna upgrade this. It needs upgraded. This is not enough. I can already tell. Okay. I need much more proactive deployment systems here. Okay. And then so the amount of iron I need versus the amount of the ore I need is very different. Okay. This way I'm feeding so much to it, it shouldn't care. That should keep up much faster. Preferably, I'd want them in the other order, though. Like that. Out, so let's come out here and grab blue. I was like, what am I out of? There we go. Cool. That should do much better, and it shouldn't stress nearly as much to keep up now. Scoop speed says it's still gonna struggle though, which is too bad. I could fix it with productivity modules, but I don't want to do that. The real thing would be to put like 1 speed module and then 2 tier 2 efficiencies in each of these. That would probably give me the best output to match this. Yeah, that's just so many labs. I'm not even remotely... This is not... I need an entire building full of this to keep up with that. Like, that's just too much. But if you look at it, though, we have a lot of technologies we can burn through now. Although a lot of these, at least in the next world, are going to be disabled. I'm going to disable a lot of the endgame stuff. The thing that I like to do is I like to do some kind of like a Death World island. So if you look at this, this is the fun part about this map. Look at how close, see these 3 bases here? They weren't there when the game started. The closest base was this one here. So the enemy bases are actually, their growth distance, how close they're allowed to be to each other, is actually really big. I need to look at something here. Utility science is the one I don't have, right? So I need to redo my science. And I need to decide how I want to do that. Got out of a shower and my thumb's all cracked. Apparently I had something, I don't know what, had something on my hand and it's cracked and made my skin dry and cracked. Maybe I'm just dehydrated. That could always be the answer. As a general rule, almost no one in the world hydrates properly or enough. All right. So part of this world change here since I've redone this world, I'm scaling down my science. And the reason being is trying to feed the later game sciences gets really freaking annoying. I was seriously considering putting that right here. The problem is at the moment I don't have ultra long underground belts. And so that makes some of this difficult. So, alright, well, here we go. There's so much resource in this building. Also, I want a larger building, preferably an MK3, for the actual science itself to go into. And it's probably going to be right up here. So let's readjust down here. Gotta get all this crap picked up. All this old stuff. Okay. One, two, three, four. This is going to get nasty really fast. Wait for it. This is going to be horrible. This is one of the things that I don't like about the way they redid the sciences, is that there's so many sciences that to be able to set up and prioritize sciences gets really, really nasty really fast. Okay. The plan is to dumb down my science. I had it very large and very aggressive, and now I'm going to try and do the opposite. We'll see what I can do. Just stop and just say hi. Gotta go to work till 8:30. You're good, man. I'll just be streaming this for a little bit today, and then I'll be hopping off. I'll still be actively playing games and stuff, probably upstairs, but I'll be hanging out with the cats and stuff. My wife wanted me to get some chores done while she was gone. My wife's been working like 50 hours a week for the last week or two because she's saving up for a new iPad. Hers is dying, and she needs a new one, and she wants to buy one quickly, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with buying one quickly. It's just her way of doing it is very hard on her because she's doing so many hours. She's basically going to buy it really fast. Like in a week and a half or 2 weeks, she's going to get enough money to buy a iPad, which works. It's just, it means she's going to be super tired, and a lot more of the things that she does around the house aren't getting done because she's spending so much time at work, and so I'm doing them. So I'm helping her out with that. Oh, nope. Okay, that gives me copper. Well, you have fun, and I'll watch tonight when you get home. Cool, cool. Sounds good. I've been doing a lot of Wildlands with War, because I'm almost level 10. I'm pushing so hard to get my character done. Because there's so many games I want to play right now that it's like trying to get everything sorted out is kind of annoying. Okay, so that gives me those two. I'm going to set up a very basic green and red science maker here, and then probably a military science here, which means I'm probably going to need coal. Here. But yeah, for sure. I will see you when I see you, man. You have a good shift, and I'll see you when you get back. Okay. So I'm redoing my sciences on a much slower scale. Typically I do a 1 second scale, but to power that, when it comes to some of the higher tech sciences, it's a pain in the butt because, like, for example, when you need 30 rail to do 1 cycle of the one high tech science. I'm so glad I put diffusers up on my lamps. I got, I don't know if you can tell, but my webcam is super crystal clear. And it's because I got 2 new lamps, 2 new LED lamps. And it was smart because, like, I was going to go buy lamps, put LED big bulbs in them. But the lamps are like 15, 20 bucks each. These little LED lamps for, like, your desk, they're desk lamps, they're like $7. So I got 2 of them, and then I just put a plastic bag over each one of them. And like, I have the bag hanging out loose. Kind of like when you go to a studio and you get professional photography done, and they've got those giant lights that have the giant rectangular cone over the top of it with a white sheet on the end, and it's just like, it's super bright, but it diffuses it so that it's not like blinding light. You can see, and you get a more even lighting over you. Perfect. All right, so we got those 3 resources there. But yeah, so I've got these 2 new lamps. I am going to tweak them a little bit with their lighting, or with the bag, to try and get a little more even light, because that's something easy I can do. Let's look at sciences real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In theory, there's only 7 sciences with space. I need stone as well. hard because stone is here. Is there a stacked stone? I never looked. There's stacked... See, that doesn't make any sense. There is stacked stone, but no stone bricks. Interesting. I feel like that's a fairly serious oversight. Oh, wow, I'm really down. I'm struggling with my green screen because in order to, with this new camera, in order to have my green screen set up properly, I either have to have my green screen way back there and then have it zoomed way in on my face, or have the green screen be like right behind me, but the room gets really small and claustrophobic when I do that. Who knows? Maybe I'll look for a bigger green screen at some point. In fact, yeah, I'll probably end up shopping for a bigger green screen. I'm currently saving up to buy a Nintendo Switch because I've never had one. I never had a Wii U. I never had a Wii. There's a lot of those systems that I never had, just because they were never. All right, what do we got here? Yeah, let's put those there. Any other reds? Nope. The design here is I'm going to have a requester chest here for all the reds. Currently, this is just full of trash. But this will be a requester chest for all of the lower tier stuff. And then what I'll do is, if you look, I have one Roboport in here. And so what I'll do is I'll have like 5, maybe 10 robots that will live inside this building. And what'll happen is I'll have requester chests. Like this one here will be a requester chest for reds. And it's cool because I can put one there. I can put one, yeah, just those two. And then I think I can set one up here as well, fairly easily, and then over here pretty easily. Whew, pardon me, try not to hiccup. The issue, the idea is it's going to come, I'll request all of the low end stuff, so like all the yellows and all the reds will get requested, and I'll set them all as junk. And then they'll come in here into a passive provider chest, and then the robots will then grab them and take them to their respective locations to get upgraded. That way, in the long run, I'll end up with none that are not. So, also, come to find out, this was a really good design. Overall, this was a really good design. Really easy. It's not fast on certain pieces. Like, if you have an actively growing base, you would want to increase the production of this one by quite a bit. You'd probably have at least 2 or 3 gear makers feeding directly into just that one to keep that one fed. Just because you would need so much. Ultimately on this map, I'm not 100% sure what my end result is, or my end goal. I don't remember if this was one of those I only made the map so big, and my goal is to like remove all the aliens to win kind of a thing. Check out those rockets. The rockets hit like a truck. I don't know what that was. Some of the aliens had something weird on them. I have so many rockets. It's awesome. The rockets are for the most part one-shot kills. Yeah, see, they've got... What is that? Oh, is that slow? Is the green goop the slow? Yeah, I'm assuming the green goop is the slow. But yeah, look at this. For how many enemies are attacking? Well, first off, the fact that we still have trees here is greatly helping. My plan is to... in fact, here, let's do that while I'm waiting. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. My goal is to blacktop the entire base. Grab more. I want to blacktop the entire base as fast as I can. It does really bad things for the pollution, but for like this is my like factory and area. I really enjoy it. Holy cow, that's a lot of enemies. The goal is to eventually get to where we're running nuclear. And I don't know how well I can... Hey, what's up, Nicholas? I don't know how much of that I can actually program. We'll have to see. But yeah. I need to continue working on this. So this one here... Oh, that's right. I need stone. Stone is all the way down here. This building's in the way. How do I move it without this becoming... The problem is right here is getting really nasty. It's getting really nasty. I put this building directly across. Instead of like down here, I put it directly across. That way it was easy to feed into. Problem is I need to get stone up to this building. Preferably without a mess. I could easily get it there, or I could get it here and then pass it over and put it in. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna do that. Okay, and then we're gonna do that. And then I need more. I need to stack up those. Where's it at? Okay, so that's good to there. Okay, we'll do... Okay, we'll go like that. Okay. So now we have stone feeding up there, which is good. So the plan here is, and I need more stone. I very much need more stone. I'm running out. The question is, how badly do I want to try and conquer all of this to get to the stone, you know? The next big thing I need to automate is my laser robots. And then start sending them out to just wreck shop. Oh, I was about to say, it didn't make it. See, the whole design of the bus system, the type of bus that I build, is that it's very modular. And so it's relatively easy to move resources. And this new stacking belt, or compressed resources mod, is super helpful. Because, like, for example, in here, since I still have some in here, oh, it's a decent amount in here. That might just sit there for a while until it gets in here, and then once it gets in here, it'll get worked on. Oh well. Whatever. Whatevs. Alright. Let's decide how we're going to do this real quick. Ultimately, I'd probably set it up with robots. But I don't have that option yet. In fact, I'd really like to set up with robots, but I don't have requesters yet. I don't know if I can even start that yet. I hate that they made it such a late game technology. I wish they would have left this a blue science. I mean, it's not super far out. It's just annoying. Like, I want to start this research, and I want to do something special with it, but... No, it's utility. What's utility take? Oh. Low density structures, which is steel, plastic, and copper. Yeah, that's going to be a while. You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to worry about science right now. Yeah. We'll get it figured out. It's just annoying. So far, our military is doing really well. This is a very powerful base defense here. These turrets are doing, golly, 60 damage a shot and slowing. And then the rockets are doing almost 300 a shot and slowing. But I have rampant on, so it's sheer weight of numbers that will conquer me. Although for some reason we haven't seen the green aliens yet, the green biters. Alright, so here's what I want to do. I want to set up a basic Terminator builder. It takes lasers, steel modular processing. That would actually be easier to produce in here, because I already have the oils and the fuels in here. There's a kitty. Kitty. Hi. Come here, bud. How are you doing? You want to come hang out with me? What do you think, huh? Ooh, I need to figure out what I'm going to eat too. So I worked a graveyard this morning, so for me it's early in the morning right now for me. You know what I mean? Because I've been up since wee hours of the morning. Oh, I also want to get better armor for myself as well. That's where Yaokai comes into play. Wow, they have compressed for Yaokai too. That's pretty cool. There we go. Technic transmuted, Quantrium, Doritol, structure elements, advanced machine frames, technical sign, and reputation. For the most advanced one, which is an equipment grid of 12 by 12. That one's a 12 by 12. What are my standard armors? That grid is a 7 by 7. So 12 by 12 is actually pretty big. Let's look at power armor. Power armor MK4 is a 20 by 20, but that's very advanced. In fact, power armor MK2 is still pretty far out, because I haven't... This is where I hate this game. Bless its heart. This is where this game annoys me, and that's where the part that bothers me is the top two sciences are super annoying. So much science. Is that inventory? Well, this is my I just ripped up my science room. I just barely ripped up my science room, which was right here. This little building was my science room, and now this big building is going to be my science room. I just haven't set it up yet, and I was looking at it trying to decide how I wanted to, and I couldn't decide. No, can't do it that way. Makes me want to reinstall the big lab. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna reinstall Big Lab. I ain't afraid. I don't have any weird sciences, so I can do this. So there's a mod called Big Lab, and it adds one giant lab. It's 30 labs in one, and it researches at the speed of 30 labs in one. The issue with it is any mods you have that add additional science packs that need to go with the vanilla science packs get really, really slow. Or get really annoying because you have to set up a side one for that. Load. Back to roots. And I ain't afraid. I'll do it. I'll do it live. Did it not work? Mods. Says it's there. Oof. Supposedly the big lab sits next to the other lab. Lab. Oh, big lab. They changed the color of it. Yes. This is the big lab. Have you ever put anything like this inside of a building like this? It's super stupid, but man, is it fun. No, lol. Well, technically it's even faster than the concrete. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay. Big lab, where are you? I still can't tell. 4. Oh, don't tell me it's an odd number. Did they really make it an odd number? If they did, that's going to be really dumb. On the flip side, it holds a lot of science. You generally don't play with Factorissimo? I love Factorissimo. I think it's a total hoot. Hang on, I gotta figure out my pattern here. No, I ran out. It's not a bunch more in it. Recently reset all my achievements, so you've been playing vanilla. Oh, that's cool. I actually hadn't even finished vanilla. I just barely finished my vanilla achievements for the first time. There was a bunch of the production ones that I had never done, had never finished. But yeah, kind of funny looking, but I'll do more with it later when I have more floor. It'll be a while, but I'll have more. I like Factorissimo because someone that builds like I do, it's a bit constricting. Yeah, I know a lot of people that like to do very, very macro designed bases, very big, very heavy. My actual favorites are to do the giant train systems. The problem is very quickly I get bored because the amount of time it takes me to build it and get it all ready to go and running, and then I stop and turn and look at it and I go, like I'm still on the first 3 sciences and my base is completely done, and I'm like, well, at this point I just wish there was another priority besides rockets, because the late game rockets and late game sciences are just kind of you know, like by the time you get to some of this late stuff, I am so bored out of my mind. Like, let's look at how much of this is not modded at this point. How much is left that I haven't done that's not modded? The answer is almost none of it. I'm pretty much done. Combat robotics, artillery, and nuclear. That's basically it. At this point, I'm basically done. See, this is the part I don't like. That's where you gotta set a challenge for yourself or look for a scenario. Yeah. That's where it kills me, is it's like, I'll spend, I mean, what am I at here? 28 hours? I'm at 28 hours on this world, and I'm done. Basically, you know? There's a bunch of those out there. I have yet to find any that really catch my attention, though. By the way, the reason why there's nothing on my hotbar is because I play this world on my laptop and on my desktop, and then it syncs it. And for some reason, it doesn't sync this bar. And every time it uploads from the one to the other, it wipes the bar, so I just don't even use it. Check out those missiles! Those rockets are so cool. Typically, what I'll do as far as a scenario goes is I'll set a... What do you think about the hotbar now? I don't mind it. The fact that it doesn't count as spaces anymore is kind of weird to me. But to the same respect, the issue that I had with the hotbar the other way, the old way, is gone now, which is cool. The thing that I hated was I would build, or I would have certain items and I would drop them in my inventory. And if it was locked in on my hotbar, it wouldn't autofill the hotbar. You love how you can get 4 from the get-go. 4 what? So many weapons. Ultimately, at this point, that's where my science is going, is weapons. Weapon-based. At this point, as far as actual gameplay goes, I was going to automate Terminators. Which, if I remember right, I typically only have one building Terminators. Or any of my robots at that point. Well, they increased the inventory size to replace what you had in the hotbar. Oh. Yeah, I hadn't really noticed that. I have so many mods that increase the inventory size anyway that I hardly notice it. Like I have a faster start, which starts you off with a small armor, which gives you bonus slots immediately. Yeah, I have 10 bonus inventory slots immediately. Hi, kitty. How you doing, bud? Are you gonna come hang out with me? You're shedding a lot today, bud. Do you want to come over here? Do you want to come here? All right. He's like, pay attention to me. How kitty is. If I have sad eyes, it's because I worked a graveyard this morning. Came home, crashed. There's a pretty tail on my lap. Wait for it. You can almost see the tail. Tail. Under interface, I believe. If you go into your options, you can unlock 4 hotbars shown instead of just 2 or even 3 if you desire. Copy, paste, import blueprint, blueprint. Whoa, upgrade planner. Wait, did they integrate upgrade planner so it's actually just a part of the game now? Oh my gosh. That would be a huge... Did they really make upgrade planner? Oh man, I'm so happy if it did. Now, is this the one where literally if you have it in your inventory, you just scroll over and it changes it? It's even better than the mod? Okay, well, I'm going to go take a look. There's a kitty on my lap. Hi, Tigger. Oh, it replaces them without removing the items. And it's through your robots. That's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. If you leave the planner default and change nothing, it upgrades to the next tier by default. So you're saying if I don't have it set to do anything, it'll automatically do it? Do I have to have an upgrade planner on me, though? Or is it like... Oh... That is cool. I didn't know that existed. I didn't even realize this existed. Well, that's super cool. By the way, I officially need a crap ton of robots. Alright, let's see here. All the reds and all of those in that one. This one gets those and those. And then this one gets the regulars, which I don't have any of. I didn't know the upgrade planner existed. I didn't know they had made that. See, I haven't played the newer. Then, of course, you can do what you were doing, upgrade or downgrade. So you can set them yourself or otherwise. Okay, give me a stack of those. Give me a half a stack of those. I need a half a stack of those. Undergrounds are looking good. Belts, I have none. Oh my goodness, my kitty is so snuggly right now. And I'm totally cool with it because he doesn't, personally I think it's 10 times better than the mod ever was. Well, it definitely feels better. It definitely feels a lot more it definitely feels good. That's for sure. Which is good. So this is the kitty that usually isn't super affectionate. Since he's been fixed, he's not super affectionate unless he's tired. And when he's tired, oh my gosh, he's the biggest snuggler you've ever met. So right now, he's a big snuggler. It doesn't stop your production. Yeah, the old one would pause what was being built and then tear up the stuff, and then like it would stop production to tear up the stuff, put it back down, and then it would start back up again. This one doesn't do that. You're right. This is pretty cool. We're doing that because I'm sick and tired of this being so dang slow. So Sid, let me ask you a question, because this is something I've been looking at a lot lately. I think it's stupid, I think it's irrelevant, but I also think it has interesting implications. And I'm just curious what your opinion is on it. Okay? The question is, then research queue was also added. Yeah, and you can choose to have it set from the beginning of the game, which is also cool. Which, I might actually have a mod for research queue. No, I don't. I have auto research. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. The auto research gives you more control over what is being researched, which I don't know if the vanilla does that. So the question is, sorry, let me get back to the question. The question is, I have been watching a lot of streamers, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of everything. And there has been kind of this general trend of like, a bunch of these I'm going to upgrade. There's been this general trend of people being angry and yelling and swearing and all this stuff. You have to queue up what you want to be researched. Okay. There's this general trend I'm noticing of, and it's been around for the beginning of time, but it's kind of jumped out more recently to me that I've been watching it, and I'm curious what your opinion is. The question is, so I'm noticing people are angrier and are like purposefully like picking more fights, and you know, and I think a lot of it is just to draw additional views because everyone loves a good fight kind of a thing. But I was just curious what your opinion was on like swearing during streams and like being angry during streams. Like, what's your opinion on that? Because I'm just noticing a lot of people do stuff like that, and I'm just curious if it's something that is actually not justified, like that's the wrong way to say it, but like if it's like, I don't know, like I feel like to a certain extent there should, like you would think that there's a standard, but some of the most popular people on Twitch are some of the most vulgar, mean, angry people I've ever seen, you know? And I'm just curious what your opinion is on that. Wait, what? Is it gonna try to upgrade these to... Oh. Depends on what kind of content you want to create. Ah, that's a good answer. I think that's a very good answer. And that has a lot of wisdom to it, too. Personally, I don't care for it, and I swear here and there, but try not to for the most part. See, I used to swear like a sailor when I was in the Marines. Oh, you can bet your boots I swore when I was in the Marines. I was one of the most vulgar people you ever met. I had a list of my favorite swear words, and I used them all the time. But I come from a religious family. My background is religious, and I noticed that my parents would, like, when they would come to visit me when I was in the Marines, they would like kind of turn and look at each other. They'd like eye each other when I'd be swearing, and you know, all kinds of silly and everything. But it's just interesting because it's like over time I have found that I'm less angry and less irritable by swearing less. And I don't know, it's interesting because it's like, how do you set up the queue, by the way? Oh, me too. I was a construction worker back in the day and traveled a lot, so yeah. And oftentimes swearing is a side effect of your workplace and a side effect of your environment. Being angry can also be categorized as a side effect of your situation and of the people you're around. It's just interesting to look at because like there is a time when like kids swear because they think it's cool, you know. It doesn't seem to be working. My mod might be overriding it. But my mod, the auto research, it doesn't say. My queue isn't unlocked. Well, in theory, I set it to be unlocked, but queue research none. All I know is I like that one because you can say the auto research. I like it because you can disable certain sciences. So you can be like, I only want red and green done. Or I only, like, you can have red and green set up and ready to go, but you can say, I want to prioritize all the reds. And then just have all the reds get done. And then you can be like, I want to prioritize all the greens, red and greens. And then you can be like, I want to focus on military, so you can like disable blue, and you know, it's pretty cool. Oh. Hi, bud. He's curled up on my lap with his head smushed under my elbow, and he's doing the little paws in the air thing. Well, if you want, here's the command. You don't need to send me the command. It's all good. I'll survive. I love the rockets. I think they're super cool. I need to research and set up, like, what I need to do is my cat was sitting in a weird position where his one eyelid was like pulled open and his third eye or his third lens was like closed, and I'm like, well, that's weird. But yeah, as far as like technology goes, I'm pretty much done. At this point, it's just like, well, let's set up some auto robots and then start hunting people down. Let's see here. I need batteries. The amount of steel needed to make this is nuts. 50 steel per modular armor. Oh my gosh. Plus 30 advanced armor, or advanced circuits. 2 turrets, so that's 40 steel there. Plus 10 steel, plus the processing units. Those are expensive Terminators. But as far as a, hey, I need something to use my resources, Terminators are great. Problems, I need to stick a thing of sulfuric acid in here. How long have I been going? About an hour and a half. I've been playing this world for like 12 hours in the last 2 days. So I might end early on this. I'll probably... I haven't decided yet. I might swap to another game and continue to stream, at least for a little bit, if you want to hang out, Sid. If you're busy doing other things, then, you know, I'll just end the stream. But, see, it's funny that I'm like, yeah, let's upgrade everything. Because I'm going to turn around and tear it all up, you know? What would I play? I'd play either like Wildlands or... What else have I been playing lately? Hang on. Either Minecraft or Wildlands or... maybe some StarCraft. I've been getting back into Endless Legends a little bit. I want to do a really... Oh. I did not click on Endless Legends, but it's launching itself. Apparently my mouse was too sensitive and it clicked. Hang on, I need to... just unstack all this stuff. Oh, I have stuff here. War's working today. How long do I think I'll be streaming? Not super long. Might switch games. But yeah, sorry, I just looked over and I had 2 messages on Discord. Let's see here. This is the thing that ultimately drives me nuts. Why the crap did they make logistics robots so freaking late game? Like, the game is over by the time you get to logistics robots. I loved it because you used to be able to just build an entire base off of logistics robots, and it was super fun. You'd be potentially interested in watching some Endless Legend. I would be willing to play some Endless Legend if you want to watch. What I want to do on Endless Legend is I recently redid one of my races. So I'm a Broken Lords team, like straight up. I love Broken Lords. And what I want to do, I really wish these weren't so freaking loud. Hang on. Whoa. There we go. There are certain songs that are insanely loud in general. And it's annoying because it's like I've been sorting through my music, and like certain albums I'll turn them all the way up to 100%, and then other albums I'll drop them down by 60% because they're so freaking loud. So basically I play Broken Lords almost exclusively because I love them. They're so much fun. There is a new race, the last race that came out, and I'm considering playing more of them. They have a unique feature where they can infect the entire world very, very quickly, which is pretty cool. Hi, kitty. They have that ability to infect the world very quickly. You want to get more into it, but you only have the Tempest DLC. It's worth it. The one thing that in fact, here, let me save and I'll start swapping over to that. My one issue with Endless Legend is there's a basic mechanic or a basic game type that is not auto available. I really want them to, and they won't. I wish they would, but they won't. I wish they would offer an option to do forced alliance in the game. Meaning, like, so for example, StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 have ways that you can set it where, like StarCraft 1, if you would play multiplayer, like LAN or whatever, you could if you played single player, it would be melee or free for all or something. It had like 2 or 3 game types in single player. But if you went to multiplayer, you could say I want to do teams, and you could do a 4v4, and you could fill in the empty slots with the computers. Or if you're me, you just jump into a multiplayer game, host it with a password or whatever, or over LAN, and then immediately fill it with AI. So it's like I'll do me and 3 AI against 4 AI on StarCraft 1. You know, and they're your allies. They're forced ally, and they will help you win. Right? They'll play like they are computers against humans, except for computers against computers. The thing that drives me nuts is Endless Legend doesn't have a feature like that. So I can't say I want to do a 2v2 or a 3v3 or a 4v4. It won't let me do that. And I wish it would. I wish it had a feature where I could do that. So, alright, let me... Man, I'm so tired. I would play Endless Legends for a little bit. Yeah, I just really don't have the money to spend on it at the moment, but I do play the crap out of some Civ 5. Yeah, I like Endless Legend better than Civ most of the time. But yeah. Alright, give me half a second here. I'm going to end the stream and then relaunch with Endless Legend. And I'll play Endless Legend for like an hour, and then I'll get off. Alright, let's see here. And if you want, I'll even pick a... Like, you can even pick...
I am many things.
You can even pick the race you want me to be, and I'll play it. Like, you can pick any race you want, and I'll show you how I play it. So, anyway, give me half a sec. I'll be right back.